No, I like.
Nice. The voiceover I did is completed. That's good. Grab another one of those. What are those?
Mister don't know how to get to city. Relax.
I will fuck you up.
All right, we got a crew on right now. We need to go get busy.
So, you should talk about it, though, not me.
Oh, you wanted to have this conversation. Why don't you go ahead there, Ivan, the leader?
No,
Oh,
you were
God.
the one having the discussion with
No. I was down there talking to somebody, and you were rudely interrupting what I was doing.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you were.
That's bullshit.
And then you wanted to come up here and have a talk, so why don't you go ahead and lead the way?
You
Everybody
have
knows I'm the
information
real
about
leader
it,
around here.
So you need to talk.
Go ahead, Ivan.
Bro, you were the one having the talk with him, not me.
Go on.
What should I say? I can say anything because you have had the conversation. Are you listening?
And I told you everything that happened in the conversation, but you wanted to set up a meeting here. So, since you set up the meeting, why don't you go ahead and you can take charge of the
because
meeting?
you wouldn't do it yourself.
Hey, what happens when I die, motherfucker? Huh? When I die, y'all are gonna need to start taking charge. So why don't you go ahead and learn how to take charge and lead a meeting?
Lead a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, it's been going super smooth since me and you've been gone, Clarence. Holy shit.
LTT being a dick daily to me, and you know.
Oh, shut up.
Take several insults and all that. It's annoying as fuck.
Alright, just give us the TLDR, Ivan. Jesus fuck.
He even gave me to the
New subscriber could. Excuse me?
But
Treyfus, my dude, how are you doing, brother?
but
thank you so much, man.
This is maybe a chance. Do we have someone that be fit for us?
What?
You want to say who that is?
Yeah, Vlad.
Hell no. I am leaving the Misfits.
I saw that coming.
Me too.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck.
I saw that coming.
I thought you couldn't get any dumber than what they already are. Oh my god.
Dude, okay, so let's run that back.
Man.
Yes.
All right, Jason, come on. I'm going to start my own crew. OTT, you're invited as well.
All right.
Come on, guys.
All right. Listen,
Vlad?
why don't you just go ahead and try and explain it to them a little bit?
For example, he's not a taker, he's a giver, and a good guy. When you are on the right foot with him.
Okay.
Is this the same guy that you were like, I don't mean to interject, but like 3 months ago you were saying he was a scumbag?
Yeah,
You hated all the Russians?
He kidnapped me. That was when he kidnapped me. You know, you
So
can
he's
see,
just, he's
but still you can see past the
instantly
green
diplomat?
texture of it. What?
You know,
I just have a hard time following.
it feels good
with,
to be the guy sitting
people that
back and just
betray you,
listening
and then there's
instead of being the
certainly,
guy
like,
that's
they're
doing all the
amazing
talking.
people now. I don't.
Treyfus, welcome back,
they're
buddy.
amazing people.
We
But
are
just say
looking
it could be
for
a good fit.
30 more subs. I can't even tell.
Even I'm
30
myself
more
is seeing
to get us back to that 2K hype.
Happened.
Well, why don't you give them a little bit of context? Why don't you tell them about what happened yesterday? Why don't you tell them what his strengths are?
We hanged out. Yeah, we hanged with him. This dude has a lot of contacts. For example,
What happened with him and the
he's,
Russians? Why is he?
He left.
Why?
Because Body said he wasn't giving something to the crew, and that dude has like giving that he has been giving like over the time like 500 grand to the crew.
Is that his words or someone else's words that he's been doing that?
His words.
Exactly. I mean, if he got kicked from a crew, it's probably for a reason.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking too.
Especially from a dying crew. I mean, they'd probably want to hold on to all they have.
This is the only listen. You're doing a shitty job at selling this. So let me talk. All right. This is basically the reason why we even played with the idea. All right, and I'm still not even sold on this. Like I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you. The thing that is enticing and intriguing about Vlad is he's a good shooter and he's a great driver. I mean, this motherfucker can drive. Like, he basically showed us his resume yesterday. He took us all through the city, and he was fucking flying through here and doing shit that I didn't even know was possible. I mean, this guy is probably, from what I've seen, and I shit you not, he's probably the best driver in the city for getaways. I'm sorry, Jason. Yeah, but you're a better race driver.
Jason.
You're a better race driver, Jason. Oh,
yes, you are.
Come on, Jason.
I'm gonna be honest. Vlad is the best driver in the city. No joke.
For getaways, yes.
Exactly. Like.
Not only that is he's also a weapons connect, as well.
Exactly.
So he's a weapons connect. He gets the termite. He's got a connection there. He's one hell of a driver. He's one hell of a shooter. Here's my biggest problem. It's Vlad. So my biggest problem is he's a hothead. He's too quick to shoot. I'm not sure how controllable he is. I feel like he might be a headache, and I also feel like he might be the type of guy that may jump ship.
I think he's the type of guy that might get us raided.
That too, definitely will be that
I'm gonna
type.
do it like this. I have his number. I'm gonna call him here, and he can answer to every fucking question.
Well, I don't want to. Yes? I don't want to do that yet. We gotta slow. As Biggie, slow down.
No,
slow down.
It's not that. It's not that we just throw him into the misfit.
Well, we don't even know if he wants to be a misfit. That's the thing.
You wouldn't ask all those questions yesterday if if for no reason.
Listen, I say right now, if we have him as a hang around and we're chilling with him and we're doing jobs with him, that's one thing. But to make him a full-fledged misfit, that's going to be a whole nother thing. And I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Vlad, he is not going to want to do the whole Goonie process and stick around. And I don't blame him because he's already established and he already is really great at stuff. He brings a lot of assets to the crew, but he also brings a lot of potential. Now, I'm not saying he can't change, but he brings a lot of potential downside in terms of the heat. I mean, he's going to kill cops whenever he wants to. And you know what I fear the most, Ivan, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, is I fear you and him together when I'm not around. If I'm just going to be completely honest with you, I'm not in the city, and you and Vlad are fucking going around as misfits. I can't even just imagine the fucking shitstorm that you two together are going to be.
It's going to be the same shitstorm that fucking Ivan was hit with the quick fix.
Like, you two together is going to be like fucking fireworks, like something fierce. Because the moment that you want to start... What do you mean, what do I mean? What do you mean? You're already fucking crazy enough as it is. We'd be running from cops. You'll just turn around and shoot those cocksuckers. Imagine if Vlad's there with you. It's going to be fucking fireworks to the 10th degree, motherfucker.
Yeah,
at least we get to do a misfit
someone that
jailbreak.
can kill with me.
Holy shit! I can't. Putting two Russians together in the same car is a bad. I mean, it's a good time if it's focused chaos. But if it's uncontrollable
I don't like
chaos,
how you put it out there. It's like you say I'm a fucking maniac.
You are a maniac.
You are a maniac.
I'm a lot more controllable.
You are.
I'm a lot more controllable.
You are when you're around certain people. And you've been fucking amazing. I'm scared to see what you're going to be like when you got a guy that wants to shoot a motherfucker for looking at him the wrong way. He's basically going to be that little devil on your shoulder telling you, come on, Ivan, let's kill this motherfucker. Hey, why is that guy fucking talking to us the wrong way? Yo, let's go and do this. Let's go do that. Let's fucking shoot up these cops. Fuck it. Let's go down there and do something.
He's not like that. taking it way too far.
My biggest concern is if he does like jump ship again, changes crews or gangs, like if he finds out the stash houses, like we're screwed.
Well, that's what my whole thing on this is. I'm gonna be blunt. His intentions, there's no way that they're wholesome in any fucking way, shape, or form. Like,
yeah, my biggest concern is I don't think he's gonna be ultra committed to the Misfits. I think he'll hang out and do jobs and shit when it's convenient. But you saw what it was like when Speedy called him. I mean, people are calling him for jobs because they know that he's going to be a person that's going to bang with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't have to be a misfit. I mean, if he really wants to, you could just. It's not like everybody that fucking does jobs in this city are fucking a crew.
I mean, we could pitch to him that he could be a very close ally, like he was with the Purples. You know,
that's a good idea.
He could roll with us. He could bang with us. He could do jobs with us. But we don't have to give him keys to the house. We don't have to tell him about clearance. We don't have to tell him about the ins and outs of what we do in our operation. We can keep him close to the chest. That way he can still go and do his own thing with whoever as well.
Well, what's his relationship with the Ballas now?
Well, he's not too happy with the Ballas because the Ballas just went and recruited a whole fuck ton of people. So now the Ballas are rolling around in the south side acting like their dicks are big. But the last time I checked, they're not very big at all. And they're going around with their chest puffed out, starting shit and talking shit. And they got a whole bunch of recruits. And it's the same thing that we gone through. If we have too many people in the crew, then people are going to start to feel left out. The only good thing about what we have right now is we have openings for people that can be around. Because our problem is we barely see Jason or Wally, and it's not their fault. It's the fucking train. So we haven't seen Dan for a little bit because he's on vacation. So once he gets back in the city, we'll see him a little bit more frequently. But other than that, I mean, and even before Hutch passed away, he was very, very busy. He doesn't have time to be in the city like he used to. So right now it's Ivan and I on a daily basis doing two-man shit, and that's pretty much it. It would be nice to get a third. That way we have that extra manpower so that we can do bigger jobs. We can do money trucks. We can hold our own against a group of 4. But when it's just the 2 of us, it becomes very challenging. So I think that's the other thing, that it would be a benefit to have Vlad around because he's in the city quite frequently. And if he was rolling with us and he was committed, then we would have another person that would be down to do all the shit that we do. And we bring value to him as well. But on the offhand, all those negative things that we just discussed. And I'm not sure that the positive outweigh the negative when it comes to Vlad. I don't know him well enough right now. He has changed a lot. Yeah. And I've even made comments saying, man, he's changed quite a bit. I've done quite a bit of business with him. But you guys saw it. Even when I was buying guns and termite and shit. Is there somebody out there in front?
Who's on the bike?
Okay. Good.
Even when I was buying all that stuff from him, he was still quick to jump in when the Purples were beefing with us for no reason.
Very good.
So, you know how he is.
Listen, it's easy to talk about it. I mean, that's why I wanted him to get him here. And you can ask
it's not about talking to him about it, though. It's more about getting the feel on the street of what his mind is like and what his intentions are.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what he tells me. I'm not. I take things at face value.
Yeah, I mean, look how many people that we've dealt with now, and they've stabbed us in the back. Look what Jacob has told us. Look what Dante has told us. Look what fucking Doug has told us. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear if they want something temporarily. But once the mystique of something else comes their way, if they're not committed, they're just going to jump ship.
Yeah.
And by the way,
what's your relationship with the Russians now?
They're fine. I mean, I've never really had much of a problem with Boris. The only time I've ever had problems with the Russians is because of the Purple. And they would just, get in their way. But here's the thing. The Russians aren't really hanging with Purple anymore because Purple always has 3-4 in the city. Maybe even more now.
Well, I mean, have you thought about actually reaching out to Boris about Vlad and seeing
I think
what
that's a
really
good idea.
went down?
I think that's a good idea.
You got Vlad's side, let's get Boris's side. So what's really going on?
That's a good idea.
I mean, you could have a snitch that we might be letting in. We don't need that. Could have a thief. We don't know that. We need to find out what's going on.
And no, Ivan, we're not going to ask him if he's a snitch.
No, listen. This is the thing. You see it that way? When I left myself, but they went around and told lies about it, that kicked me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you make the more it's gonna truth? When
Well, I
he
mean,
always spreading,
you can usually
spreading
tell
lies
when
that he
someone's
kicked
lying or not.
Yeah, I mean, I
you
could
know,
go to Boris and be like, "Hey, Boris, I heard about what happened with you and Vlad. What the fuck happened there?" And just, I don't even need to say, "Hey, we're potentially prospecting him" or anything like that. I could just have a normal conversation, and maybe he'll just let information slip.
Mm-hmm.
We could ask other people. You know what I'm saying? We could ask a couple people within Purple that is not Big E, and kind of get their opinion on Vlad and what was like hanging out with him and stuff like that. They might. You never know. I mean, this doesn't need to happen today. We can just slowly start to get stuff, and in the meantime, we can keep hanging out with Vlad. We can do jobs with him. He can be our getaway driver. He can make some money. We can see how he rolls with the crew. His tendencies will come out just from naturally being around us. We're going to really see what's going on. Now, here's the other red flag that I didn't tell you about yesterday, Ivan. When we were waiting for you in the hospital, he said that he's been dreaming of starting his own crew of essentially mercenaries that are blacked out and going around and robbing people and shit.
Wait, what?
That's what he told me in the car. So, already those tendencies that I'm scared of is already at the forefront of his brain. Do you know what I mean? Because if he's going to be in the crew, say, for example, we decide, and then he's officially a misfit, what he does is going to come back on us. 100%. He goes down and he robs some randoms. He robs the wrong person. Whatever. Fuck, he might even be beefing with the Russians. If he's beefing with the Russians and he joins the Misfits, the Russians might have a problem with us. And if the Russians have a problem with us, we're probably going to have to deal with the fucking Purple again. We will eat them up and shit them out, but we might have to fucking deal with Big E again. I can't even have a conversation with him.
We don't want that or need that. I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of cons that outweigh the positives to all this.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that.
At the end of the day, it's on you two. I mean, you guys see how much I can get in the fucking city nowadays.
Well, no, it's not just on us. It's on the whole crew. And your opinion does matter. Period. I don't care if you're in here 3 times a week, once a week, or 7 days a week. Your opinion matters, kid. So
I wish it was the latter.
Well, eventually, one can pray.
Exactly. I'll pray.
Just wait until, I'm telling you, the horses start galloping. Things will change around here, I guarantee it.
It's a long ways out, brother.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think it's as long as you think. And you know how fast time goes by. Very quick.
Well, until they're able to open up the barn doors for as many people as we have here, it won't be a thing.
Yeah, but you won't be able to wait at the same stations. So you're going to have to wait on one station or the other. There's going to be a lot of people that are just tired of waiting at this train station that'll try and get on horse and buggy. I think things will change, honestly. I do. It'll just take time. But I see where Ivan's coming from, and I even agree with what Ivan's saying. In fact, yesterday, driving around with him and seeing him in action, he really could bring a lot to the crew. He really could. But I mean, even before we remotely even consider, we have to hang out with him and we have to talk to people and see what he's really like.
Yeah, that.
No,
I mean, I
this is
think.
the thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Clarence.
All right, now I was gonna say.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you, so.
I just feel like we need to invite someone into the crew that we don't have any doubt about. I mean, with him, we have a lot of
prior
doubts.
beef.
Or prior beef. I mean, we need someone that we're like 100% like, yes, he's a great person, a great candidate to be a misfit. With so much doubt and hesitation with him, that's red flags, and we should really, really concentrate on that.
I agree.
Yeah, a red flag can be recolored.
It can be.
Let's put it like this. Say CJ leaves the Ballers. Are we going to consider him?
No, not necessarily.
A fucking chance.
But at the same time, I'm a big believer in people changing and things changing. You can't hold a grudge forever in the city, or you're never going to have a friend with anybody. So, not to say people can't change. It just means that some people you have to be much more. You have to take it a lot slower, and you can't just disregard their past fully. But it doesn't mean people can't change.
No, you're right.
But I'm on Clarence's side here. I think he's got a great idea. If we should talk to Boris, we should talk to a few other people, and we should hang out with Vlad a little bit more. Not even mention anything with the Misfits. Kind of see where he's at. I think that's a good idea. And we're not in any major rush. It's not like we need somebody today. We just lost a bunch of members.
We also need to see how he reacts or interacts with all of us.
That's true.
He might not interact very well.
That's true. I will say it was pretty pleasant hanging out with him yesterday, but that was for, an hour and a half. Well, what's going to happen when we're doing it, 2-3 hours a day might be a little bit different. Plus, he's a free floater right now, so he might be doing the same thing with many other gangs. Might be hanging out with them, kind of fielding the idea, trying to figure out which one he would prefer to be around, or he might end up just going rogue and being mercenary and do his little thing. And if that's the case, we might still be able to work with him and keep him close as somebody that we do business with and roll with and bang with, but somebody that isn't in.
No.
Anyway, that's my opinion. I say we just keep an eye on things. I also just got a phone number from a guy named Kanye. Seemed like a pretty cool guy. Ran into him a few times now.
Kanye Mushkin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was selling some cocaine. I thought he was a cop at first, but he's not. And I just ran into him doing pawn down in the south side. I could always reach out to him and say, "Hey man, we're willing to buy some cards, blue pixie sticks, those sort of things," and kind of get a connect that way. And it can let him know that, like, if you need any guns or anything like that, we can get that stuff for him.
Mm-hmm.
Vlad's a soldier, man. We know what we're getting when it comes to Vlad. When it comes to, like, if we're in a beef and we're down and we're rolling, that motherfucker's a big asset to have. Big. Very big. But other than that, and a driver, I think he might be a detriment, which scares me.
Yeah.
I think he's still pretty close with Speedy. So, at least he wouldn't be starting no shit with Speedy. But I don't know where he's at with the Russians. I don't know where he's at with the Greens. I don't know where he's at with the Purples at this point. We just basically have to pick his brain, too. Find out, who he's beefing with and who he's not.
Is that him in the city right now on Twitter? Vladimir?
That's Ivanov, yeah.
That's him.
So that's him, gotcha. I know he does have an expensive car because I worked on it before at the tuner shop.
Hell yeah. He's got a lot of connections, man. And he told me a lot of information yesterday too, which was some stuff I didn't know. Apparently Sizz is a drug connect for cocaine. I didn't know that.
He's just tossing out information like that.
I was going to say,
well, he was
tossing out information.
Well, he's been angry. He was angry at the Purple. So what he told me is he said Sizz threatened to cut off Purples from cocaine, and Purple doesn't even buy cocaine from Sizz. So he kind of let it slip without physically just going, "Oh, hey, by the way, Sizz is a cocaine connect." He didn't say that, but he said it in a way because I think he's got a problem with the Purples right now because he was kind of talking down about Purple and how he felt about them just bringing a whole bunch of people in and how it's changing Big E and all those guys down there. So it seems like there's a little bit of animosity.
But look how easily he gave up that information.
It is true.
He gets one little thing goes wrong or south with us, and he's gonna get mad. And he's just gonna go blab all kinds of junk. Something so petty, he's just gonna go crazy with it.
Sounds like a Jacob to me. If I'm not gonna pull any punches, he
definitely a better Jacob.
Skill wise, maybe, but I mean, terms of all-around attitude. I mean, he gets mad at somebody for adding members to a gang that he's not even a part of, and he just offers up some sweet information like that. That fucking makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll put it to you like
That's
I'll
just.
put it
I
like
mean,
this.
I was kind of feeling it here and there as you were talking about it, but now that just kind of soured me because that's like way too easy.
Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. I'm a misfit for life. I will respect whatever decision we make, but the way I feel, I don't like it. But whatever the end result is, I will support it either way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not fully liking it either, and I think at this point it would be a big no. But it doesn't mean that we can't hang out with him and then he can win us over. You know what I mean? I'm not ruling it out, but I think as of right now, he's a good person to have around to do jobs and shit, and then we just go from there. See how we mesh. If everything is like running like butter and it's fucking great and he's fun to hang out with, and then I'm willing to take that chance. You know, if they fuck us over, maybe I'm just too nice, you know what I mean, and too forgiving. But if they fuck us over, they fuck us over. I mean, at this point, what secrets do we really fucking have? Jacob knows everything about us. I guarantee you that cocksucker has already blabbed his mouth about where our stash house is, and that's pretty much the biggest secret, and you being our biggest secret.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we're holding some sort of fucking trap house code or some shit, and you know, and he knows the code and he's gonna let it slip. It's not like we're holding any crazy amount of stuff. I mean, right now we're sort of in a repair mode. We just lost our number 2. We're you know, on one hand we're doing great, and on the other hand we're a little lost.
Instead of lost MC, we're the lost misfits. Oh boy.
So what are you thinking, Ivan?
I think he's
don't
watching
know.
Jason P.
No, way too small dick to look at. But I don't know what I can say. Like, I just feel like, get his viewpoint, we could just ask him himself, like tell him how we work, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That if anything is gonna happen, you need to that way, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And not go around fucking everyone up because they're looking, like you said, looking wrong on you and stuff like that.
I mean, Ivan, you know him more than all of us, like way more. I think I should put you in charge of having a good one-on-one talk with him and just kind of picking his brain. You know what I mean? Because I think if you speak to him, he knows you better than me. He knows you better than the rest of them. And also a guy like that, I'm not sure he's going to be able to take orders very well. Like, I feel like, and I'm not a very bossy person, so I mean, you know.
Yes, you are.
Am I?
Don't tell me what to do.
Come on, Ivan.
Exactly. See? You made clearance cry.
I'm not like, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. I'm not really like that. But I am... I do kind of dictate things to a certain degree. I'm not sure he's going to be able to... If he's going to be okay with that.
Yes.
You know, if he's got a fucking problem, say, with like a green, and he's like, I'm going to fuck him up, and I'm like, dude, you're not going to fuck him up. I'm not sure how he's going to feel about that.
Talk to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the easiest way to know if he's an honest person. So you will get the answer you want. You know, he's gonna be straightforward. That's what it is.
All right, all right.
So, while I'm here, what's going on with the trap? Because the last time I was here, talking to Wayne or some shit.
Yeah, so we had a meeting with Wayne last night, and essentially we were willing to offer terms for war to get the trap, but he said we need $1 million worth of stuff. So that just completely out of the question. The other thing is we were both willing to drop the beef with each other because the Chang Gang ended up killing Hutch. So really our big animosity is towards the Chang Gang. And
You're cutting off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear anything I just said?
The last thing I heard was about killing Hutch.
Yeah. So
Exactly, me
yeah,
too.
sorry. So yeah, he since the Chang Gang killed Hutch, we really wanted to focus our efforts on the Chang Gang and not so much the Top Shotters, and we were willing to drop the beef. But that was when we had a meeting with Anto and TT, and Anto just ran his mouth, like talking about, oh, you guys lost one, it's time to throw in the towel. How much more are you guys losing? It's pretty obvious, we're winning this, and blah 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 blah. And it just was not a good conversation. He came at it completely wrong, and Ivan got pissed off and ran his mouth. And then we were like, all right, you know what? Nothing's going to get done without Wayne, so let's not touch the trap until we speak to Wayne tonight, and we'll let this go. So they ended up leaving, and they turned around 10 seconds later and started shooting at us. So we
Yeah, I heard about all this.
Yeah.
I was
So
here,
that's
2 days
right.
after.
So we tortured them and shit like that, and then we ran into Anto yesterday. Once we got in the city, he did a U-turn and just started shooting at us. We put him down, and then this morning we robbed Anto, and we went after the trap. So I mean, right now we're still going after it. The thing is, with Wayne, we were both willing to drop it, but unfortunately, if we drop the beef with the Top Shotters and we strictly go after the Chang Gang, Wayne and maybe somebody else, Anto or whoever, is going to still hang out with the Chang Gang, which means if we're going after them, they're going to end up shooting at us regardless. So they're not willing to back down completely because they have to have Chang Gang's back, as Chang Gang has had their back, rightfully so. So the only way that we really get out of it with them is when we settle our shit with the Chang Gang. If that makes sense.
I understand that completely.
Yeah, and I couldn't argue with it.
That's gonna happen when we have something.
But what the fuck is our end game with the Chang Gang? I mean, and if this isn't like me trying to be negative at all, but we've lost Hutch. I'm not saying we should give up. Don't take it as that. But what the fuck is our end game here?
Well, I mean, at this point, our game was to hurt the trap. The trap has already been hurt, but it's been repaired now. So our plan is to get that trap house and run that trap house at this point. The Greens, they're starting to get involved. So I'm not really sure what, and I was waiting for everybody else in the crew to get in there so that we could actually have a good sit down and talk about what our plans are. When it comes to the Chang Gang, I want to fuck them up. I want to take Vinny, I want to take Chang, whoever, into Clarence's helicopter. I want to fly up into the sky, and I want to see if they can fly.
We have a good spot to kick them off as well. Not where you're gonna fly us.
Also, I don't know if you
Okay.
know this, but Ivan bought a house 2 houses down from the Chang Gang mansion.
Yeah, I got keys.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was thinking, so there's a place right outside Vinewood that has a maze.
Mhm.
We can drop them in the maze and then make them find their way out, and then when they do, we can just unload a couple bullets into them.
Ooh, that's a cool idea.
Because
too.
there's only one way out.
That's actually a cool idea.
Yep. That'd be kind of fun. A little scavenger hunt.
And the other thing is if I talk to Mr. Chang, they are going to do what they've done before. Even before Hutch had passed away, and we were putting it on them, straight up. Now, I don't care what anybody says. We were fucking putting it on them over and over and over again, and they were trying to hold down that trap with the Top Shotters. They couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. And they're not going to be in any position to want to barter or anything like that. They're going to want to come out on top, period. So if we go to them and we say, hey, what is it going to take for us to meet halfway, they're going to be asking for shit. And you know what they're going to ask for? They're going to ask for the cocaine we took from them. And they ain't getting it back.
Just tell them it's already been sold.
Well, some of it has been. I'm trying to sell it all so that we can buy that mansion for you. Name it after Hutch.
I still love
Yeah.
that idea, by the way.
Yeah,
Don't want to
and
call
you
it
are
the crash
one,
pad.
and you are the one that's gonna name it. How you want to name it, Mansion of Hatch or whatever. It's gonna be your name of choice. But
Yeah, I think
it's
it's
gonna
a-
be.
I think everybody should vote on what we're going, because since we're naming
How
it
are we
after
giving
Hutch.
it to you?
No, it's dedicated to Hutch, so I mean the name should be a
Yeah,
crew
we
decision.
can
of what we're gonna
vote
name
on it. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Plus
Yeah,
one
not
for
Jason, because
crash
it's
pad.
way too corny names.
What are you talking about? All he did was crash.
He did crash a lot.
Exactly.
He really did.
So that's sort of where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like, as of right now, in the city time, in a few hours, it's usually Vinny, Rami, sometimes Randy, sometimes Uchi. We've got plenty of Chang Gang members we can go after. So, you know, and it's not like we can outnumber them at this point. We just don't have the numbers. But what we can do is we can either have even numbers or we be up against 3 of them. Or if a top shot is in the city, they're going to have a little bit more. But I'm willing to take that fight and that chance.
And by the way, I need to talk to you after this as well, ODT.
Mm-hmm. So right now in the mornings, we've been easily taking care of the top shotters, and we've been able to rob locals, which means inevitably we will get that trap house. It's just a matter of time. We just can't get lucky. So that's not a problem. And we just haven't seen, since Hutch's death, I haven't seen a single Chang Gang member in the city before the next tsunami. Just haven't been around. They will be eventually. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And we've just been doing our own thing. We've still been doing jobs. We haven't even really touched that trap until yesterday. That was the first day we gone after it really in a week. Like it's been quiet. We hadn't even been going after it. Even before Hutch had passed away, we hadn't really touched it or gone down there very often at all. Not to mention the times that we were down there, it wasn't even operational. Because it's operational probably. It's probably non-operational now. It's usually about an hour after the tsunami, and then it stops until Wayne gets there. And Wayne's usually in the city in like 5-6 hours. So, I mean, we've got a window. I say we just keep going in that window right now. It hasn't been very... there hasn't been a whole lot of conflict other than the top shotters.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting along with everybody, except for, Chang Gang and Chop.
Mm-hmm. And everything is still going good. I mean, we got money right now. We still got cocaine to sell. We got plenty of weapons. We're working on a couple of, we've got that Dan guy as a prospect. He should be off vacation soon. So we should see him again. He was great to have around.
Isn't he a hang-around at point?
Yeah, he's been pretty much hanging around with us. He's been like that for a few days, and then he went on vacation.
What about Skinner?
Yeah, Skinner's been in and out of the city. He was rolling with us the day after Hutch died, actually.
Mm.
And he was with us when we tortured TT and Anto.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. He enjoyed it, too.
Let me guess, Ivan, you got a finger, didn't you?
2.
Yep. Eh,
Oh, God.
Oh, no, you took 2 off Tyson.
yeah,
Who the
Tyson.
fuck is Tyson?
Tyson is some crazy-ass motherfucker that just started trolling with us. And then this guy was like, oh, yeah, maybe he could be a great hang-around, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, this guy's a fucking troll. And then eventually, he fucking robbed me, came back, gave the stuff back, and then robbed Ivan, didn't give the stuff back, and said, come get us, pretty much. And we were on a fucking cat and mouse chase for half a day. Finally caught up to him and got him, took 2 of his fingers. And then yesterday, he came at us again. And we put him down.
Like fun. I want people's fingers.
Well,
You guys are gross.
So, that's my thing. Fuck you.
maybe you can take
Like,
some
nope.
toes.
No, fuck
Exactly.
that. Feet are disgusting. Fucking hate feet.
I don't mind feet.
Ears?
So you see somebody sucking on a toe.
Bro, how about ears?
What?
Take some ears.
What, Van Gogh?
Yep.
So, you guys want to go roll, get some shit done? We can go see if the trap is operational. If not, we can go and,
I want to show my idea what I want to do with them.
you want to what?
Can you fly us to a spot, Clarence?
I can't get a helicopter right now.
Damn it.
Yep.
You guys are gonna hate me.
What?
I don't have a whole lot of time today.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I have tried to just hop on the train at Tsunami, hopefully come in and make the house payment. And got
Man.
some prior obligations.
God damn.
I've had to fill my time other ways, unfortunately.
I feel you.
Fucking sucks, but...
How long do you have?
If I look at my watch here, it says about 15 minutes.
Oh. Looks like it's you and me, Ivan, and Clarence in the... Well, actually, you can't even be in the sky right now. Fuck.
Yeah.
Black the fuck out.
No, you can't get a helicopter.
Well, if that's what I'm saying. If you can't get a helicopter, let him fucking black out. And...
No, he can't roll with us. If he gets caught, he gotta lose his business, everything that he's got going on.
Oh,
Can't risk that.
Clarence is too much of a pussy to fight.
He's definitely not a pussy. I've seen
not a
him.
pussy.
You deserve
Let his
that.
ass out, old man. Let's do it.
You take that back.
All right, well.
I mean, I don't know if I have a random ticket today. I could try in like 2 hours, but...
All right. It's worth a shot.
And I'll definitely, I'll be back for the next one, and if I do that, then we can
I won't
fuck
be
up
in.
this
I
chain
won't. I
gang.
won't be in the next one, dude. We by the next tsunami, we're in the city 11 hours. You know what I mean? So we've been in the city already for 3.5 hours. So by the time the next tsunami hits, in 7 hours, it'll be almost 11. That's a lot.
Fucking hell.
It's too long in the city.
Yeah, I'm just pushing this a little bit before this tsunami that was.
Mm-hmm. And at that
whole
tsunami is like 3 o'clock in the morning, Ivan's time.
The next one. So,
Mhm.
That's crazy as shit, because that's the only tsunami I used to see you in, Ivan, so that means you were a crazy son of a bitch.
yes. Sometimes I have, when it's weekends, then I go, full bonanza. But when it's not,
Yeah. And, I can once in a while, but I got a family outside the city, so there's only so much I can do.
I feel you.
But once in a while, I don't mind. Once or twice a week, no problem.
they don't have bandages.
Yeah.
I only have one.
Let
go.
him bleed.
You need to relax, Clarence. You're way too aggressive.
I'm way too aggressive. Okay.
Fuck, man, this shit pisses me off, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we could have been grinding together for the next 6.5 hours.
Fucking no.
It's all good, man. Liberty City, man, comes first.
Unfortunately, I just wish I had a fucking, I was just able to know what times I can... This
Well,
sporadic bullshit is literally just throwing me for a loop.
we need to do something. I'm getting a little antsy. I've been sitting
Yeah,
here
yeah,
for
you're
like
pacing.
an hour. Oh, come on now. Don't be moping around.
Moping around since you said Vlad was a better driver than me.
Oh, shit. Come on, kid. You know I didn't mean, you're a better driver, but he's the best getaway driver.
Lick my asshole.
Oh, my. I would, but you wouldn't be here for me to lick it.
Not you, him.
Wow.
That was actually fucked up.
Well,
Wow.
I wasn't even talking about you, and you just said some shit like that.
I thought you meant for me to lick your asshole.
I'm just
I
gonna
would
go to
gladly
sleep in my
lick your
trunk, I guess.
asshole if you didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do you at least wipe good?
For you, no.